I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will report the amendment.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 2729, offered by Ms. Giffords of Arizona, amendment number 052.
I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading. Without objection, so ordered. I recognize the judge for 5 minutes to explain her amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment is pretty simple and builds off the stated purposes of the National Energy Research Parks, or the NERPs. According to the official language and the official charter, the National Environmental Research Parks are actually field laboratories set aside for ecological research, and let me emphasize, for the study of the environmental impacts of energy developments and for informing the public of the environmental and land use options open to them. In other words, studying the environmental impacts on energy technologies was one of the primary purposes stated and envisioned in the NERPs. So you can understand why I was a little dismayed last week during our hearing of H.R. 2729 when I asked one of the witnesses whether or not they were aware of any research being conducted on the environmental impacts of renewable energy technologies, and essentially they indicated, all the panelists, that they weren't aware of any. As most of my colleagues know, I'm a big supporter of renewables, but particularly solar energy. One of the major attractions of renewable energy technologies is obviously it's their relatively low environmental impact compared to traditional energy sources. However, no energy technology, even solar energy, is without any environmental impacts. So this language is pretty simple. It includes the language environmental impacts of development and use of energy generation technologies, including renewable energy technologies, as Section 2B of the bill. And I think it will provide the explicit encouragement for those researchers studying these impacts to look at renewables. I think this is non-controversial, and I think it's consistent with the long-established purposes of the NERPs, and I urge my colleagues to support it.
The gentlelady has a well-established record of commitment to renewable energy. I applaud her for that and think this amendment is thoroughly consistent with that record. Are there any other members of the committee who wish to comment on this amendment? Hearing none, the vote occurs on the amendment. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to. Are there any other members